This video should scare the crap out of everybody who sees it, because we know we got illegal immigrants in this country, and we know that they've been meticulously placing them different areas and doing all of these things under the table and behind the scenes. But this takes the cake. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you some clips of things going on in the country, in our law enforcement, that is going to blow your mind. And it's also going to make you think the next time you're getting pulled over, you're going to wonder, is this person really one of us, or are they from a whole nother place? Because come to find out, these demon rats, they have allowed illegal immigrants to be on and infiltrate our police force. This article you're going to see right here, this is directly from the Department of Homeland Security, not some third-party site, anything like that. When I bring you the information, I'm bringing it direct from the horse's mouth. So in this video, stick with me, because you're going to see some clips that will blow your mind. And just to make sure, because my audio have been acting up on this video, in the comment section, make sure that you put, I hear you, if you can hear everything okay up to this point, because I'll be checking that. But right here, as you can see, the title is in Governor J.B. Pritzker's Illinois. As a matter of fact, let me make it full so you can see it and read it with me. In Governor J.B. Pritzker's Illinois, illegal alien is working as a sworn police officer with a badge, a weapon, and a pension. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, today announced the arrest of Raju Bajovic, an illegal alien from Montenegro who was working as a sworn police officer with the Hanover Park Police Department in Sanctuary State, Illinois. Raju Bajovic was encountered during a targeted enforcement action as part of Operation Midway Blitz. Now, Hanover is about 150 miles outside of Chicago. Hanover Park Police Department records confirm Raju Bajovic was approved by the Pension Fund Board of Trustees in January 2025 and was eligible to receive a starting salary of $78,955.70. Additional records indicate his 2025 earnings cost taxpayers $205,707, including $9,276 for FICA and Medicare taxes. Wow. Governor J.B. Pritzker doesn't just allow violent illegal aliens to terrorize Illinois' communities. He allows illegal aliens to work as sworn police officers. Raju Bajovic violated our nation's laws and was living illegally in the United States for a decade. What kind of police department gives criminal illegal aliens badges and weapons? It's a felony for aliens to even possess a firearm. A so-called law enforcement officer who is actively breaking the law, said Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Under President Trump and Secretary Noem, ICE is restoring law and order. Criminal illegal aliens have no place in our communities, especially on our police forces. Now, this here is a picture from the Hanover Park Police Department congratulating their new officer, Raju Bajovic, which is nuts. Bajovic outstayed his B-2 tourist visa that required him to depart the U.S. on March 31st, 2015. Over a decade later, he was still illegally in the U.S. On September the 8th, the Department of Homeland Security started Operation Midway Blitz in honor of Katie Abraham, whose life was taken in a drunk driving hit and run car wreck caused by criminal illegal alien Julio Calcul in Illinois. The operation targets criminal illegal aliens who flocked to Chicago and Illinois seeking protection under the sanctuary policies of Governor Pritzker. Now, that's just sad. You can't even get a job without a background check. I'm talking about working at the gas station, working at the car wash, but to be in law enforcement, an illegal alien was allowed to be on the force. Who did that background check? How were they getting paid with no social security number? How did that happen? It's like AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had an illegal alien on her staff that she allegedly helped smuggle out of the country back to Colombia when the jig was up and Tom Homan was breathing down her neck, coming with the investigation. How were they getting paid? Because he was on the payroll, no social security number. How was that happening? And see, these Democrats bark the loudest, but they're the biggest violators of what's going on. And it's no different to allow illegal immigrants to get on our police force. I'm one that does not believe that an immigrant should necessarily be in Congress. Look at what happened with Ilhan Omar, the Somalia congresswoman out of Minnesota, who has said publicly that her loyalty is to Somalia and that she's there to make the U.S. do whatever Somalia needs.
dad badan ay soo wacay oo waxay leeyihiin ilhaan dowladda Mareykanka inaan la hadashin waaye dowladda Mareykanka maxay ka qabanaysaa jawaabteedu waxay ahayd dowladda Mareykanka waxay ka qabanaysaa wixii annaga aan dhahno dowladda Mareykanka qabo waa kalsoonidaas inaan isku qabno annaga Soomaali hadii aan nahay wadankan annaga ku nool wadankan wadankii aan annaga tax ka dhiibno waaye waa wadankii gabar idinka dhalatayne ee Congress ka fadhiso intii aniga aan Congress joogo waddanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan waddanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleeta in annaga ayna dhacaan marka taas ka seexda reer Minnesota.
And she's been living up to that with all of the fraud coming out of Minnesota. $250 million worth of pandemic fraud. Now we got this housing fraud. Now we found out there's voter fraud going on there. Also, you got Tampon Tim. Did you know he gave driver's license to everybody in Minnesota in 2023, made it a law? So when you have a driver's license, guess what else you're able to do? Vote. And see, what the Democrat Party has been trying to do is build up this like slave class. It makes me wonder, when they had the border open, you remember they would say, oh, women and children, women and children. But you tell me, and as a matter of fact, do me a solid and put it in the comments. When you looked at the video and the pictures, did you see hundreds of or thousands of grown able-bodied men? Or were you seeing lines of women with small children that was coming across that border? I want to know what you saw. But let's get deeper into this. So let me show you the news clip. Well, first I'll show you the picture. Let me tell you the clip about Hanover Park police.
Let's do breaking news now. Immigration, Customs and Enforcement has just revealed in the last short time a police officer working in Illinois is an illegal immigrant. Radule Bajovic works for the Hanover Police Department. He graduated from the academy in August, but he has been living in the U.S. illegally for a decade after his tourist visa expired in 2015. His illegal status was discovered as part of Operation Midway. So we wanted to bring you the very latest on that.
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up because I will never ask you for a Cash App or a Super Chat. But you hitting that like button, it does help spread the video out, and I appreciate that. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Whether you're already subscribed or subscribing now, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all because YouTube has issues with the notifications. But when you select all, YouTube will make sure that you get notified when I upload new videos. Now, you might think like, well, Brian, man, that's an isolated incident. Woo, glad we caught it. No, it's not. It gets deeper and it gets even worse. So this individual here, this is the Jamaican illegal immigrant. And I'm going to tell you more about him. You see this nice lady right here that's pinning the badge on. Let's get off into this story and see what went on with this. This will blow your mind.
According to ICE Boston, an illegal alien who is employed by the Old Orchard Beach Police Department in Maine has been arrested by ICE for illegally attempting to purchase a firearm. In a statement issued by ICE Boston's acting field director Patricia Hyde, John Luke Evans of Jamaica overstayed a visa that was issued back in the fall of 2023. The attempted purchase triggered an alert to ATF, resulting in last week's arrest. Hyde said, quote, shockingly, Evans was employed as a local law enforcement officer. The fact that a police department would hire an illegal alien and unlawfully issue him a firearm while on duty would be comical if it weren't so tragic. Hyde added, we have a police department that was knowingly breaking the very law they are charged with enforcing in order to employ an illegal alien. This is relevant for us here in Massachusetts because last week, independent journalist Jack Gately broke the story that Governor Healy has set up training for immigrants living in Massachusetts shelters to become police officers. Those immigrants may or may not be here legally.
This person was vetted by the state in terms of a background check and a check that we do for all entries to our shelter. I was recently informed that by my team that did not happen at all sites.
And with the Healy administration's history of not following through with background checks for those entering our shelter systems, we're leaning towards the latter.
So no background checks on people going into their centers, into those shelters. So they could be coming from anywhere. They have no idea if this person is somebody who assaults women, somebody that beats women, is a robber, somebody that likes to take people's lives. They don't know. And not only do they not know, they end up plucking people from that to put onto their police force. And this is insanity. And it really makes you wonder, were they trying to build up a secret army? Are they trying to build a secret army? Where did all of those men that was inside of those shelters go? And as you heard, that Jamaican that they put on that force was plucked directly from that shelter. And see, that was my concern because I remember out in Minnesota during 2020 with the pandemic. They had this militia going out, walking down the street, demanding people in their houses and literally shooting up their house. This was really happening.
No, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked for that, dude. What?
Okay.
And you say, are those American citizens willing to do that? Or are those illegal immigrants doing whatever it is they got to do to avoid being deported? Or they made promises, hey, we're going to give you this and give you that. They're building up not only a slave voter class that are ignorant to the history of this country. They have no loyalty. They're not loyal to the soil, and they definitely not loyal to the flag. That's how they come over here waving their country's flags as if it's so great. But yes, they ran away like they were Speedy Gonzalez or the Road Runner and couldn't wait to get here. And then you're going to pound your chest about how great your country is. You represent. If this wasn't my own house, I would spit on the floor to show how I feel about them when they disrespect our flag. I actually had somebody tell me, well, Brian, you know, burning the flag is just self-expression. I said, no, that's beyond that. I said, if you want to dislike Trump, dislike policy, dislike statues, that's fine. But always remember, your right to publicly dislike things, your right to publicly say that you disagree with the president, your right to stand out and shout and yell and scream, whatever it is you think, is all because of that flag. So when you burn that flag, you burn that right. Because if you go to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, China, Palestine, Russia, try that there, and let's see what'll happen. There's even a story of a transgender comedian, allegedly, that was in Palestine. Do you know how they found that individual? With their testicles cut off and stuffed in their mouth. So all of these blue-haired, nose ring-wearing people that's out there, free this, you wouldn't be allowed to, you would be beheaded over there or executed in the street. So burning that flag is you burning your right to disagree. It's like no kings. If there was really a king, they would have been committing treason and they all would have been locked up and executed publicly for the country to see, which is obvious we don't have a king. And July the 4th also is another way that we celebrate that. But it's not over. Let's listen to this police chief. And she explains why and how this individual was on the force.
Evans did a great job for us. He did all of the training as required and he excelled. Being a summer police officer is not always an easy job. We did everything that we would normally do and everything we are required to do. And we were given the okay that he was all set to work. We would never give somebody who was not vetted and not approved. We wouldn't, first of all, hire them. And second of all, we would never give them a firearm.
That's gaslighting because you did it. I apologize for pausing, but when I hear certain things, I never want that to slip into people's subconscious. Oh, we would never. And they went through every typical thing, which obviously means it sucks, it doesn't work. And so how many ex-cons, felons, sexual assaulters, or attempted murderers do they currently have on their police force in Maine? If that's the standard, if he was the standard.
It's ridiculous to think that we would do that. I'm highly disappointed that somebody would think that the police department, the town of Old Orchard, would do that. He had all of his documents and we are required to submit them through E-Verify, which we did, and he was approved to be able to work. I'm not sure what other system that they would want us to start considering, and if there is one, then they need to communicate that. As far as we know, all of the information and all the documents we have are legal documents, and that he is able to work. He's being missed. He was a good employee. He did a great job for us. I'm hoping that this can be resolved and that there will be a finding of no wrongdoing on anybody's part and that he can go on with his life the way he intended.
You see, it's gaslighting like that. Now, this man was paid roughly $80,000 a year, $9,200, and I think it was $9,255 for his FICA and Medicare. And see, these Democrats, this is the type of mentality they have that led us into the situation we're in right now. We got millions of Americans, of illegal immigrants in this country, millions of Americans struggling because the money has been given to them. And now the Democrats are shutting down the government for the last 21 days because they want to give free health care, free Medicaid, $1.5 trillion to illegal immigrants while our seniors struggle and they suffer. And that's exactly why I'm extremely happy and I'm proud of the partnership that I established with Chapter. You see, I myself, when my mother was going through looking for her, she turned 65. She was having issues. It was time to get on her Medicare, and she was totally lost. And everybody was reaching out to her through email, through spam calls, acting like they wanted to help her, and they were just trying to sell her stuff. And with things going on where our Medicaid and our Medicare system is being overloaded by illegal immigrants, it's extremely important right now for seniors to make sure that they are protected. And the best way to do that is by working with a company like Chapter. You see, Chapter, what they do, they help our seniors make sure They have got the best Medicare plan available. And it's a totally unbiased perception to make sure if what you got is the best, great. But wouldn't it suck to find out next year that the plan you've been paying for no longer covers the medications? The doctor is no longer in network. And in a phone call, less than 20 minutes, Chapter is saving seniors as much as $1,100. That's $1,100 that is staying in the pockets of seniors that are looking to just make sure that they're protected as they enjoy the remainder of their life. So if you are somebody that's kind of in that limbo of wondering, do I have the right Medicare plan? Are these the best options out there for me? I highly encourage you to make sure that you call the number on the screen, or you can visit the website, askchapter.com/real politics, and at least take the time to speak with one of the agents to make sure that you have the best coverage available to you. It's worth it. And I highly encourage you to take advantage of it, especially in the mix of everything going on as you hear more about illegal immigrants on the system, illegal immigrants getting health care, on our police forces have a pension. This is crazy. Now, here's a letter from the Hanover Police Department. Matter of fact, let me make that bigger so you can see that. This is what they had to say. They said, the Hanover Police Department hired Officer Bojovic in January 2025 in full compliance with federal state law. Before hiring, the village confirmed that he was legally authorized by the federal government to work in the United States. At the time of his hire, he presented the village with a work authorization card, which was issued by the federal government's U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The card was valid and recently renewed. We also conducted a full background check, including his criminal history, with both the Illinois State Police and the feds. The bottom line is that all information we received from the federal government indicated that Officer Bojovic was legally authorized to work in the United States as a police officer. Clearly, without that authorization, the village would not have hired him. Additionally, the village has not received any notice from any federal or state agency that his work authorization status has ever been revoked. Further, the village also confirmed, based on a memorandum issued by the Department of Justice's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, on January 5th, 2024, that his immigration status allows him to carry a firearm while on duty. Officer Raju Bojovic has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the immigration proceedings he is now facing. If he is permitted to remain in the United States and remains legally authorized to work in this country, he will be returned to full duty status. That is nuts. That is nuts. And you know how that happened? That was under the Biden administration. The Biden administration. Now, to show you just how deep this rabbit hole really goes, check out Judge Janine, as she's going to tell us a situation about an illegal immigrant working on Capitol Hill and what happened when they went to go get him. Check this out. This will blow your mind.
Hi, Janine Pirro here, U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. I just want to invite you into my day to let you in on a little interesting case. We have an individual who is a 4-time deportee. That means he's been deported 4 times. He's also an aggravated felon. Many felony convictions, that's why he was deported. But he managed to make it back. He is, in fact, working on Capitol Hill. He's not only working on Capitol Hill, he is working outside and apparently is involved in working the grounds as a gardener or something. So we, with ICE, have been trying to arrest the individual. And we are not allowed to go on Capitol Hill to make an arrest. We've been told that we're not allowed to do that. So ICE has been waiting for 8 hours to arrest this individual. And we're coming to the end of his shift. And he goes inside and suddenly he's not available for an arrest. Now, ain't that swell? Here we are in the nation's capital fighting for truth and justice. And they're making sure that the illegals with criminal backgrounds get to stay.
Now, just to make sure you understand, this video, this here is from July the 31st. So this was prior to President Trump. Oh, there's the date down there, July 31st, 2025. So this was prior to President Trump actually going in to DC, cleaning it up and getting those folks out of there. But do you see what the Biden administration was doing? Up under that administration, this illegal immigrant was given clearance to work as a police officer. Same thing probably happened with the Jamaican person. Now, why would our federal government, under Democrat leadership, be authorizing illegal immigrants to be police? Because they know an illegal immigrant as a police will never go after another illegal immigrant. And it's sad. And I'm so thankful to the Most High God that is being exposed. Because in Minnesota, they've done the same thing in Minnesota. As a matter of fact, let me let you check out this video of what's going on in Minnesota. This man right here is going to tell us what's really happening out there. Check this out.
Jeremy Harrell here, LFA TV, rumble.com/LFA TV and LFA TV US on X. Make sure you go follow us there for all of our daily reporting. But folks, I got some very concerning news coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Remind me who the governor is there again? Yeah, well, we knew this was going to happen, and today is the day. We now have two non-citizens, two non-legal U.S. citizens, we'll call them illegals, who have just obtained a position in the Minneapolis police force. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor Jacob Fry of Minneapolis said that this is a great day to rebuild the Minneapolis police force. I thought that everybody was about defunding the cops up there. They defunded them long enough to get them out so they could put their own police force together. Well, say hello to Somali illegal, Ekran Muhammad. She is now your new police officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And say hello to Leslie Barra, who's also a non-citizen. Both joined the force after a recent change in the law there. And both joined the force after low numbers have been reported for the last few years in the police force in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I wonder why. So it looks like the Democrats are not only bringing the illegals in to vote, they're tapping the illegals that are already here to run or to go and get a job with the law enforcement in their state, in their town, in their cities. Before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, nobody will adhere to the Constitution. Nobody will adhere to law. And these non-citizens that are in these law enforcement positions, they're going to treat you so very badly. They are never going to respect the Constitution. They're never going to respect your rights. And this is exactly what the Democratic Party wants. So, Mayor Jacob Fry, Ekran Muhammad, and Leslie Barra, congratulations, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, this is despicable. This is disgusting. And we need to put a stop to this right now. Share the video everywhere because this is just the beginning.
Like I said, this is nuts. Do you see what this is? So we have to continue to be diligent. I'm getting reports out of Virginia. It's looking excellent. Republicans are turning out in droves much stronger than Democrats are in early voting. Then we got the New Jersey governor race where you got Chitterelli going up against their Democrat shield. And in your city and in your state, please check the internet. See when your local elections for Congress, for governor, check that out. And when you see it, share it on your social media outlets. Make sure people in your area know. Encourage them to put it in their phone, on their calendar as a reminder. So on that morning, it pops up because we have to stick it to these people because they're playing for keeps. They're not playing by any rules, and he's right. Remember when I said earlier about Somali and about Ilhan Omar? They are bombarded. They are overloaded with Somalis in Minnesota. They're taking over the state. They're bringing in their own people and doing all of these corrupt, fraudulent things. $250 million for the pandemic fraud, the housing fraud, the feeding our futures fraud. Now, the FBI and Cash Patel, Pam Bundy, they're knocking them out the box, and they've already put like close to 100 of them in jail. I mean, indicted with charges. So, the spotlight is on them, and Tampon Tim is spearheading it with his weak, spineless, Chinese-loving tampon in the boys' bathroom, putting weird wife having self. So I just wanted to bring you this information to show you just how serious it is. We've got illegal immigrants, illegal aliens on our police forces. I didn't even expect that. I can see it jobs here or there, but as police, that's terrifying. So tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. And if you stayed and watched to this point, there are some people, and I'm gonna give shout outs because there's a list of people that when I look, man, they always tell me, stay to the end, Brian, support you. And it's a lot of people, but there are some that are always right there. And let me just say, I thank you. It's so many people that I'm unable to name them all by name. And if I just named off a few, I'd be leaving some people out. But let me just say, I see you and you know who you are. I read the comments and I thank you. And when I say I really appreciate you, I mean it. And on those comments, I'm really responding. So thank you from the top and bottom of my heart. Thank you. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.